Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalo Nastreva, 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 Gatiranyata. This is a famous verse that was preached by Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is from Brihanaradiya Purana. Once many years ago, I was in the city of Patna in North India, and Patna is on the banks of the Ganga, so I went with some devotees there. We went to visit the Ganga and offer our respect and take bath there. And we came upon a beautiful old temple of Radha and Krishna, which is not very common in that part of India. There's more Ram Bhakti and worship of Shiva in that area. So the temple's actually connected with the Radharaman temple of Vrindavan. So we spoke with the priests there, and they showed us they had an extensive library of old manuscripts. So I saw one of them, it said Brihanaradiya Purana. So I asked him, can you show me where this verse comes? And he showed me in an ancient manuscript. That's just an anecdote that came to my mind. That's not really what I have to speak about. So, this movement is known as the Hare Krishna movement. It's informally known as that, and formally as l'Association de la l'Association Internationale de la Consciousness pour Krishna, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, more formally. So Krishna consciousness is synonymous with chanting Hare Krishna, especially in Kali Yuga. The holy name, the holy name, the holy name of Hari, the holy name of Hari, the holy name of Hari alone is the only way to achieve this supreme destination in this Kali Yuga. Attaining this supreme destination in this Kali Yuga. So there may be the question, why are we establishing temples? Why worship Radha, Pari, Ishvara? Why have shaved heads and tilak? And why wear dhotis? All you have to do is chant Hare Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also instructed his followers, especially Rupa Goswami, to worship Krishna in various ways. He described 64 main principles of devotional service that should be followed by sadhakas. Sadhaka means one who is practicing Krishna consciousness with the aim of coming to perfection. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained 64 main processes to Srila Rupa Goswami, and Rupa Goswami, on behalf of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, presented these 64 processes within his monumentally important work, the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, or Nectar of Devotion. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described that out of the 64 processes, 5 are the most important. Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Shraddhai, Mathurava, Shraddhai Shri Murtir Shevan. He said that the 5 processes are particularly important. They are association with devotees. It's number 1. Nama Kirtan, which means chanting the holy names of Krishna, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, residing in Mathura, and with great faith worshipping the deity. So there are other processes also. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu further qualified this by saying, Tarmadhe Sarva Shrishta Nama Sankirtan. Among all the processes, the best of all is Nama Sankirtan, congregational chanting of the holy names. Niraparadhe Nama Loile Pai Premadhan. One who chants the holy names without offenses attains the treasure of pure love for Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, Premartho Mahan, Prema Pumartho Mahan. For all people, the greatest attainment is prema, pure love of Krishna. And chanting the holy names of Krishna is the prime process, or best process, for awakening that prema. So when it's stated that the holy name is the only way to attain perfection, that means we must chant the holy names of Krishna if we are to attain the perfection of love of God, love of Krishna. But it doesn't mean that other processes are unimportant or to be discarded. Hare Nama Eva Kevala means that one may not, even if one doesn't perform all the other processes, but only chants the holy name, that is sufficient for perfection. But especially in Kali Yuga, if we don't chant the holy name, we're not going to attain perfection by other processes. Now, most people in Kali Yuga can't sit and chant Hare Krishna all day. The mind is too disturbed. So other processes, they also help us to develop Krishna consciousness. Worshipping the deity of Krishna gives an opportunity for us to serve Krishna. Of course, Krishna, he is self-sufficient. He does not need our service, but he kindly presents himself as if in need of our service. And he gives us an opportunity to offer him various items and services. So those who are dedicated to serve the deity, they must always think, what nice things can we bring for Krishna? There are rules for worshipping the deity. One must rise early and offer Mangal Arti. Arti must be offered several times each day. All nice things should be offered to Krishna. So in this way, by serving the deity, one is fully engaged, and naturally one's attention goes toward Krishna. Actually, all the devotees here are very fortunate to have the opportunity to serve Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Radha Parisishwar, Jagannath Subhadra Baladev. There are many famous deities in Vrindavan and throughout India. In Vrindavan, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, famous as being worshipped and served by Shri Sanatana Goswami. And Radha Govinda by Srila Rupa Goswami. So there are many deities in Vrindavan who are famous for being installed and served by many great devotees. Srila Prabhupada, he established many deities all over the world. Srila Prabhupada personally established Shri Shri Radha Parisishwari. So it's a great opportunity for everyone to serve them. One can get so much mercy by serving the deity. We can understand that Srila Prabhupada, he wants very much that the deities that he installed, and of course the deities everywhere, be served in the best possible way. So there is a custom that whenever people come to the temple, they should bring something, some rice, some fruit, some sugar, some donation, something to offer to the deity. And one can participate in festivals. There should be many festivals for service of the deity. In Sri Rangam, that's the largest temple in Tamil Nadu, there's more than 200 festivals every year. So this worship of the deity enhances our Krishna consciousness. And all these processes, they enhance our Krishna consciousness. They're not separate from chanting the holy name. They interact with and enhance the chanting of the holy name. And Krishna consciousness it's a whole culture and a whole way of life. We may ask, well, why do we have to wear this kind of clothing? Well, we don't have to. You can chant Hare Krishna just wearing any kind of clothes, or you can chant Hare Krishna without any clothes. It's not generally recommended to go without clothes, but it's also possible to chant Hare Krishna without any clothes. But there is a certain kind of clothing which helps one to identify with the devotees of Krishna. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, that Gaura Bhakata Priya Vesha Dadhana Tilak Tulasi Mala Shobhamana. He says that it's very favorable in devotional service, conducive to devotional service, to wear the kind of clothes that are dear to the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and to be beautified with tilak and the tulasi mala. In the modern age, people think that they are beautiful by wearing various hairstyles. Yeah, they become beautiful by wearing having various hairstyles. That is a symptom of Kali Yuga, as described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Lavanya kesha dharanam. People think that beauty means to have lots of hair and wear it in various styles. So really, chanting Hare Krishna is the essence of spiritual life, especially in this Kali Yuga. And we encourage everyone, whoever you are, wherever you may be, whatever you think, whatever you do, please chant Hare Krishna. But at the same time, we encourage those who become more serious about the practice of Krishna consciousness to take it up in all its facets. Krishna consciousness means to be fully conscious of Krishna at every moment. Not that Sometimes we're Krishna conscious and sometimes not. Now it's understood that people have many activities to perform in their lives, but we should also understand that without being Krishna consciousness, our whole life is wasted. Whatever else we may do in our life, if we don't remember Krishna, it all adds up to one big zero. At best. It can be a major minus also. Because we are all intrinsically part and parcel of Krishna. We are his eternal servants. So this is why hearing about Krishna regularly is also important. To understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead and we are his eternal servants. Our only real interest should be to understand that we are servants of Krishna and to act as his servants. That is a very pleasing situation. If we tell someone that now we're going to make you a servant, well, some people may be happy if you tell them we're giving you a job in some big company, and they think, oh, very good. But they think that will be very good for me because I will get sufficient income. They don't think that, well, I have to die, then I won't be a servant of the company anymore. People are concerned only with their immediate, what they see as their immediate interest. But our eternal interest is not concerned with this body. We are eternal living beings. I see this young, who's that boy? Young boy there. How old is your boy? How old is he? 1.5 years old. Yeah. If I look around, I'll see some who've passed many 1.5 years, many cycles of 1.5 years. One living being is in a body that is 1.5 years away from his birth. And some, they look as if they don't have another 1.5 years to go to their death. So this cycle is going on. Someone, we see them again and again, they become old, and then we don't see them again. If we asked what happened, he said he's gone away. Where's he gone? They don't know. But you might see him again without knowing as a little baby. You might have seen that little baby previously as an old man. Sometimes that happened. The grandfather comes back as the grandson. So when he didn't like that, he's crying. Well, that's intelligent, because it's not a good idea to come back again and again. So when we understand that this material life is simply miserable, and that our eternal happy relationship is in service to Krishna, then we must take up the practice of Krishna consciousness very seriously. And we become prepared to... Yep, it's true. Material life is miserable. Small children, they're allowed to and expected to cry. But when we get older, we're taught by social convention not to cry. But actually we should all cry, unless we find Krishna. Then we can cry in happiness for Krishna. So, understanding this, that this material life is simply miserable, I should serve Krishna. Then we can take up all the processes for serving Krishna. And all the processes are blissful, if we're in Krishna consciousness. If we understand we're doing this to serve Krishna, then naturally we'll become very blissful. Because Krishna is by nature blissful. His whole being is bliss. Krishna is prasannatma, means his whole being is bliss and blissful. So if we serve Krishna, we also become blissful. So all these processes of serving Krishna, they're simply to revive our Krishna consciousness. Hearing about Krishna, chanting the names of Krishna, worshipping the deity of Krishna, associating with devotees of Krishna. All these processes help to revive our Krishna consciousness. So you may wonder then, okay, then when our Krishna consciousness is revived, then what do? Then we go on hearing about Krishna, chanting about Krishna, worshipping Krishna. The means and the end are the same. Some transcendentalists think that, well, you do meditation and then when you achieve perfection, you just merge into some light. But in Krishna consciousness, the beginner engages in the same activities as the most advanced devotee. Because the activities of Krishna consciousness are very simple and they're completely natural. There's nothing difficult about chanting Hare Krishna. But some people find it very difficult. Some people, they refuse to chant Hare Krishna. Sometimes when we're chanting in the streets, we find people, they hear and they run away as if someone was going to shoot them. They become angry and close their ears. Arrgh! As if there could be nothing worse than hearing the name of Krishna. So, such people are in a very diseased mode of consciousness. But Actually, it's not difficult to chant Hare Krishna. We may find some difficulty because our consciousness is not pure. Otherwise, physically to open the mouth and say the name of Krishna is very easy. So all the activities of Krishna consciousness, they're easy to perform. But the only difficulty is because that we are in our diseased state of consciousness, we are more attracted to activities of this material world. So various activities like worshipping the deity, that gives us a variety of activities to perform in Krishna's service. And that also prepares us for entering into the spiritual world. In the spiritual world, what are people doing? Well, they chant the names of Krishna. They also feed Krishna, dress him, collect flowers and make garlands for him. So these are the same activities which we perform as we're in this world, as we're preparing to enter the spiritual world. So this Krishna conscious movement is a manifestation of the spiritual world within this material world. So one of the 5 prime processes of Krishna consciousness that I quoted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as saying is residing in Mathura, the holy land of Krishna. So we may say, well, we're not residing in Mathura, we're residing in Paris or Sarsal or whatever. But the temple of Krishna is Vrindavan. Because Vrindavan is the place where Krishna is worshipped. So, by the mercy of the pure devotees, Srila Prabhupada manifested the service of Radha Krishna here. And those who live here and worship Krishna, they are living in Vrindavan. So all these activities of Krishna consciousness, they transfer us from the material world to the spiritual world. So everyone has various activities to perform in this world. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us the process by which we can engage, even while living in this material world, engage in activities of the spiritual world. And in this way, prepare our consciousness to enter into the spiritual world and no longer come back to the material world. And the most important process is chanting the names of Krishna, which everyone can do. To have a temple with elaborate deity worship, not everyone can arrange for that, but everyone can and should chant the holy names of Krishna. Even in their home life, people in the modern age are very busy. Modern progress means that we have to, so-called progress means that we have to work very hard, but we should take time out of our busy schedule to chant the holy names of Krishna. Daily we should chant Hare Krishna. Daily we eat, we sleep, we bathe, we clothe ourselves. These are activities for the body, but we need activities for the soul. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given this process of chanting Hare Krishna. And this temple of Krishna consciousness also serves as a focal point for everyone to come together and chant Hare Krishna and serve Krishna in various ways. And there are also sometimes sessions arranged where you can come and sing Hare Krishna, on and on and on. Who is that? Ramanaji was talking about that. Where is he? Every month is organizing the where everyone can come together and chant. You're organizing that every month?
Le dimanche, on Sundays.
Every Sunday. So every Sunday you can come and chant. Yeah, he was talking about that yesterday. You can come and chant and chant and chant. Generally people think Sunday
Après l'arti, donc il y a un bhajan.
After Arti. Yeah. So generally people think that Sunday is a day for extra sleeping. But for devotees, especially those who are living at home, it's a day for extra chanting. So also the devotees, they go out into the streets and chant the holy name of Krishna. And you get extra mercy from Krishna for sharing his holy name with all kinds of people. So chanting Hare Krishna is central in the Hare Krishna movement. But all other activities should go on also. All these activities, they're purifying. Purifying means that our consciousness becomes attracted to Krishna. That is the perfection of life. Full attraction to Krishna means love of Krishna, because Krishna is completely lovable. And as we know, especially in France, there's nothing better than love. So love means love for Krishna. So we all like to love Krishna. Is there anything better than love of Krishna? No, cannot be. So let us all love Krishna, chant his holy names, drink with our eyes the beautiful form of Krishna. We can bring flowers and fruits to offer to Krishna. In this way, Krishna will be pleased with us, and we will also be prasannatma, fully satisfied in our soul. Is there any question about any of these topics? Hare Krishna.
I would like to have a question. When Mahaprabhu told his
Prakash Leela, other Leela. He showed Krishna form, but he is in Radharani.
Are you talking about in the house of Srivas Thakur?
And in a few other Leelas when he showed
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, yeah, you want to translate or you don't want to translate? He showed himself as Krishna, but he's in the mood of Radha. So why did he show himself as Krishna?
always he shows Krishna.
This is a bit of an advanced question for a Sunday feast crowd. You can ask afterwards. Otherwise, everyone won't understand what's being spoken. And you probably won't also. And I probably won't also.
And one more related question to this class. You mentioned that one of the devotional qualities or service to reside in Mathura, that is in
One of the activities of devotional service. Yeah.
I also read in a that described to reside in Mathura. Why it is not Mathura?
That's again, it's a bit... Well, I can answer as I did discuss that. Mathura includes Vrindavan. Srila Rupa Goswami wrote a book called Sri Mathura Mahatmya, in which it stated that residence in Mathura, even for 3 nights, guarantees that one is liberated from this material world. And there are many... Generally, the scriptures, they glorify Mathura in a general way, and Vrindavan is the best place within Mathura. Is it necessary for everyone to have a spiritual master? Well, according to Shastra, if one doesn't accept initiation from a guru, one is no better than an animal. Because human life is meant for God realization. And on the path of God realization, we require guidance. So we can't fulfill the purpose of human life without accepting initiation. So practically we're just like an animal if we don't take that step. Just like in the modern age, all the children have to go to school. It's considered improper if the children are not sent to school. They have to follow the process to get the knowledge. So in the same way, in human life, everyone has to get knowledge of Krishna. It's improper not to do that. I'd mentioned the 64 points that Rupa Goswami mentioned. So he mentions that, Ado Gurvashraya Krishna Dikshanushikshana Vishrambhena Guru Seva. The first 4 points he mentions out of the 64. Number 1 is to take shelter of a guru. The second is to take initiation, diksha. The next is to take instruction, shiksha. And the next is to, with affection, to serve the guru. So, yeah, one should accept a guru. Okay, there's a question to your southeast. How would you start approaching a guru? It's a big question. I've discussed that in an overview of that in this book, The Beginner's Guide to Krishna Consciousness. The first thing is one should regularly hear and become convinced that I have to be Krishna conscious. Yeah, there's another question here.
What about this term, liberation, in and of itself? Does it necessarily mean to reach Goloka Vrindavan?
Liberation doesn't necessarily mean to reach Goloka Vrindavan. Goloka Vrindavan is the highest place in the spiritual world. Supreme destination, yes. So there's liberation in other parts of the spiritual existence also. So do we have those books? Should we show the books? Yeah, so there's the book. Do you have any? So this is a book in English, which maybe I'll just say in English, because if they don't understand, they're not going to be able to read it. So this gives an overview of all the activities that you need to know to practice Krishna consciousness in the beginner stage. There's one chapter on the importance of accepting a guru, the guru and initiation, and they're all different things in there. How to set up a temple at home, how to perform kirtan and japa, all these things. So that's all in there. Do we have any other books here, or they're all finished? Uh-huh.
How can we distinguish someone who is liberated?
Yeah, one who is liberated. Do you want to say it again in French so everyone can hear? Well, the general symptoms of a liberated person is that they have no interest in performing material activities and they're fully absorbed in spiritual activities. Ihayasya haredase karmana manasagira nikilasyapyavastasu jivan muktasa uchyate. One is said to be liberated in this very life if, while even in this world, one is absorbed mind, body and words in the service of Krishna. Yeah, so everyone, do you all have Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is? Everyone has? If you don't have, you should definitely get for your home. Every home in France, with very few exceptions, has a TV set. But more than a TV set. Actually, better you get rid of your TV and get a Bhagavad Gita and get mridanga and kartals, and you need these things.
In order to become Krishna conscious, do we have to strenuously attempt to always be Krishna conscious in terms of mental effort, or is it that at the end of it we'll be naturally Krishna conscious even without thinking about it?
Did everyone hear in French?
She spoke.
Yeah, but I'm just
Tout le monde
wondering.
a entendu la question? Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's not just a case of mentally thinking about it. There are many activities also which help us to be Krishna conscious. If we chant Hare Krishna, that helps us to be Krishna conscious. If we take only food offered to Krishna, that helps us to be Krishna conscious. It's not that we don't do anything and then all of a sudden we get hit by a thunderbolt and then we start thinking about Krishna. Some endeavor is required on our part and then Krishna showers his mercy on us. Why is he called the fourth principle? I think it should be the first principle. Oh, yeah, the fourth principle. Okay, okay.
Donc, en fait, ce sont des livres
We often hear about the fourth principle. Why the fourth? Oh, it's alright. It's just, Hare Krishna! Hare Krishna! Srila Prabhupada ki jai.